Right then, hello everyone and welcome back to the Assetto Corsa Offline Championship here for round number 6 of the 2020 Formula 2 World Championship at the Mugello circuit for the Tuscan Grand Prix. Yes, Formula 2 heads to the second of the Italian double headers, and we are here for the Tuscan Grand Prix at the Mugello circuit. 20 minutes of qualifying await us. We have Ollie Boaks, the first man out on track in his Red Bull liveried Carlin. In the commentary today, it is me, Miran, and joining me once again in Formula 2, it is Jamie. Good afternoon to you.
Afternoon, Miran. Here we are for the Tuscan Grand Prix once again for round 6 of the 12-round Formula 2 series. Currently looking overhead, Eric Alderberg is currently having a 29-point gap lead in the standings at the moment. So this is a race to behold whether if the Swiss driver will be able to maintain his championship lead at the moment, or if one of the outside from the 2nd to 5th even might be able to challenge him for the lead for sure. So this qualify session will sure to be able to withstand and see that performance right here before us now as we look at Ollie Boaks on his fast lap.
Yes, indeed, championship is going to be a big talk. But before we get down to that, let's go through the track as you're going to witness Ollie Boaks on his flying lap. So, the Mugello circuit, known as the hold on, the Wikipedia page doesn't seem to work for me. I don't know why that is. But the Autodromo Internazionale del Mugello, located in the Italian communal town of Scarperia del San Piero. Um, this track was first opened in 1974, 48 years ago. And that is when the permanent circuit of Mugello was built. This area actually saw racing all the way back in the 1920s. There used to be public road races held around the streets of Scarperia. However, they were closed down eventually in the 1970s due to safety concerns, and a permanent circuit was built in its stead. You had obviously you had mostly motorcycles come here. The Italian Motorcycle Grand Prix has been a staple of the Mugello circuit ever since 1976. And you had a few different series come here as well, like the 24-hour series. There's been the World Sports Car Championship, DTM. Formula 1 has come here on a few occasions. In 2020, most notoriously, same with Formula 2, obviously. But this track has mostly been a motorcycle track due to its fast and flowing corners. And the track layout then, which has remained unchanged since 1974, as I previously have said, it has stood the test of time. It is 5.245 kilometers long and boasts 15 turns. And as we're having the times coming in, it's a 132, low 132 to high 131s we could be expecting here at the Mugello circuit as the times are coming on the board. But Jamie, what do you make of the circuit?
Well, you can see, judging from the from this track here, with its one long straight, but most importantly the medium and high speed corners, you can see why it's been such a staple for Formula One in terms of testing up until whenever they hosted a race for the first time in 2020 to celebrate Ferrari's 1000th Grand Prix. Also noteworthy that this track is actually owned by Ferrari as well. But yeah, as much as we see, this track is actually very good for open wheelers, especially for the Formula 2s to be in fact. And we can expect to see some very important racing here, as we've heard that the drivers have improved quite a bit. So we'll see some more overtakes here in the upcoming race, and this, hopefully, the grid will be ever so more important because, as we've seen before in the Porsche Super Cups, after the first few laps, they kind of split off in grips, as this is the track nature of it. So, Jean-François Below goes fastest with a 132.0.
Yeah, that's Bilal taking the top spot then, as we're just waiting for one other car across the line. It's a 32. It's almost a 32 flat for the Frenchman, who's, I have to say, really impressed in qualifying this season, despite the fact he has only converted one of his poles to a race win, as Ron Chatanos is the final man across the line to set his lap. He is P18 then, the man who won here last year with a very, very impressive drive. Obviously, the only pole sitter at this track then for Formula 2 being Formula 1 graduate Emil Nilsson. He would not go on to win the race. Obviously, it would be Rowan who would take a very memorable race win, I believe his first in Formula 2.
Yeah, absolutely as well. We've mentioned before in terms of pole sitting as well. Pole sitting doesn't mean that you're going to be exactly out of trouble as well. You need to make sure you have a good race start, and especially given this track as well, you need to make sure you're being mistake free throughout the entire race as well. Because this one, if you make a mistake here, you can see the lack of runoff areas around as well around this track. Considering it's very old, 1974 this track was built, so you wouldn't expect a lot of runoff in here. So if you get off the runoff or a bit of grass, then you can lose a position or two, and we've seen that before in the previous few races here in Tuscany for sure.
Yeah, the Porsche Super Cup race was, I'd say, a very big case of that. We had a lot of drivers running off and making mistakes. So, yeah, this track is punishing when you do make a mistake. But, yeah, you've got Remus McGregor there. Now, if we're going to go through the grid, Remus McGregor, a very, very good second for the Scotsman, the DTM champion, who this is his second time, I believe, racing at this track. He raced here all the way back in 2018 in DTM. That was round 2 of the championship, and he would go on to finish third there, grabbing his first DTM podium. So if that is anything to go by, this could be a bit of a lucky track for the Scotsman, as Abrar Chowdhury, the man who's third in the championship. Only P16 it is for him for the time being.
Yeah, we would say experience is I think, is a very important aspect in regards to this track as well. If you've got experience on this track with other series, as you see, Ulsen just catches the grass and just loses position on track. But no, experience is pretty key for this track as well, as we've seen before. If you've got familiarity with the track, you know which of the fastest lines are. You know when to be mistake free in some aspects of the track as well. It plays a key advantage for it, and Remus McGregor, who scores second, is proof of that.
Yeah, very well said. But yeah, looking at the top 5, we got Erik Adelberg in third, with Ari Soilo in fourth, and Thunjatorn Konkum in fifth. Erik Adelberg, by the way, who after the Italian Grand Prix broke the record for most consecutive podium finishes. He now has an entire 3 podium finishes to his name, the most of any driver, which I have to say is really impressive, because Erik Adelberg, ever since he's come into Formula 2, has just been breaking record after record. And yeah, one wonders what more this man can do, as we have now approached the halfway point of the season. And he has a 29 point gap. That's Formula 1 level, and I shouldn't mind, this is a spec series as well.
Adelberg is making a statement as well, because he's outperforming other Formula 1 reserves which are on the F2 grid as well. So this is going to be a very clear statement for the Formula 1 teams in the future if they want a talented man on their books, and the Swift driver should not have to be overlooked by F1 drivers teams for sure, given those results with 4 podiums as well. He's got more podiums within the first 5 races than any other driver as well.
Yeah, that is really just a feat to behold for Erik Adelberg, and it just goes to show his driving skill, as Remus McGregor now goes on to provisional pole as he beats Jean-Francois Bilot and gets himself into the 131. So he's at the 131.989 to grab provisional pole for BWT HWA Race Lab.
Absolutely amazing performance there from the Scotsman as well. He's the first to break hold of the 132. He's now the first to do a sub 132 now, with Bilal slightly behind him as well. But I'm sure he'll break that mold very soon. Very interesting for McGregor to set a lap as well, considering that he is all alone. We've seen previously before that sometimes when you're behind another car, you might benefit a lot from the straights. But here in these F2 cars, maybe it might be best for clean air as Witz goes head pole.
That's a brilliant lap from Ida Weitz in the Carlin, as he has taken provisional pole out of absolutely nowhere. That's a 131.935. He's gone about 5/10 or 500ths faster than Remus McGregor. But yeah, a very, very good showing from the Swede, as Ida Weitz has taken provisional pole. And this man, I should mention, I don't think he has a pole position to his career name yet.
No, I don't think so either. We both could be wrong, but
No,
yeah,
he doesn't.
amazing that he does.
He doesn't.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, but yeah, very impressive there from Witz. Nowhere outside the top 5, and he goes ahead and makes a pole like that as well. Very impressive there from the Swedish driver indeed. He will be sure to happy with that performance as well. That's amazing, to be honest.
Yeah, lovely to see from Weitz, the man who has scored 2 podiums so far this season, and has struggled a lot with the Carlin team, but he has put the faith in the British outfit, and things look to be turning around. So we'll see. But obviously he has been very unlucky with grabbing wins. That coveted first win has not come to him in what is now his 4th season of Formula 2, as we ride on board with Adam Hidayat, who's just going to start his flying lap. So Jamie, would you like to guide us through a lap of the Mugello circuit?
Absolutely, we head in through to turn 1. Turn 1 is where we've seen mistakes in the previous race yesterday as well. San Donato as well. Keep it very close to the inside line, and then you need to get out wide, but you need to go ahead and get wide again for turn 2 of Lucco, and then you can go ahead side by side for Portugal in Secco. After this, you've got a very medium speed straight here, right here, and then it's almost nearly flat out for Maserati, apart from these Formula 2 cars, which will have to lift off. Borgo San Lorenzo in turn 5, followed by another similarly distant straight as well. Then we're going to go for turn 6 of Casanova, and then 7 through Savelli. They're very flowing. You need to make sure you need to get a very good speed to carry it for turn 8 here of Alboreta 1. And then out here you get the second of the Alboretas for turn 9. And then right down for the exit here, it's going to be another sweeping left-hander and right-hander then for turn 10 of Scarnara and turn 11 of Palagio. Afterwards, another small straight ahead, and then we go through a medium speed turn radius of 12 of Coronato. After exiting through that corner as well, then it's just going to be a flat out near S's of 13 and 14, Bionetti 1 and Bonetti 2. And then finally, you've got a very long, probably the longest corner of this track of turn 15. Keep it hard down to the inside line. And then you need to get a very good exit here because this is the longest straight on here. This is where positions are going to be made and lost through this corner here and through to the start-finish straight to complete the lap for Mugello. And he goes fourth for Hidayat.
Yeah, it was a very good lap from Adam Hidayat. He actually set the fastest sector one time. But he lost it in 2 and 3 as Kuben Grissom. Look at this. This is quite a surprise. Kuben Grissom has gone faster than his teammate Eric Adelberg with a 1:32.104. That is an impressive feat for the American that has been struggling quite a bit in F2 so far.
Yeah, struggling would be an underestimate. Alderberg goes pole!
And just as we say that, look what happens. Eric Adelberg goes on to provisional pole position. Also, I did make a mistake. I did forget Adelberg is in the ART and not the high-tech. But either way, Eric Adelberg goes on to provisional pole 1:31.877. The Swiss driver has thrown himself back into his natural habitat, and he is on provisional pole with 5.5 minutes to go.
First 3 laps shows that we cannot underrate him as well. We cannot, underestimate this lad as well. His talents are absolutely out of this scene and goes out and takes pole as well when we think that, oh, maybe he won't actually claim another one. But he does it well. Very impressive there from Adelberg.
Yes, indeed. Really well done from Eric, but there are still 5 minutes to go, so anything can still happen. Don't expect that time to be definite by any means, as it is not even a tenth of an improvement over Ida Weitz in second as Kuben Grissom crosses the line, and he does not improve. Daniel Fraser, all the way down in 13th. That's going to be a bit crucial to him to improve right now, considering his championship rival, Eric Adelberg, who has a 29-point lead over him, is currently on provisional pole. So this will be extra important for Daniel Fraser.
Yeah, Fraser as well needs to maintain that second position as well. He may be in a prime position, but he shares that points along with Chowdhury, the Pakistani driver. Both of them are equal points with 47, and then the ones behind them, Vaji, Kondom, and Weitz are both within 2 to 5 points away from each other there. So second place can still be up for grabs here in this race, even if Fraser does not perform well.
Yeah, and the race is gonna be long, so a lot of things can happen. We've seen big charges to the field in Formula 2 before, as Remus McGregor improves on his lap. Mateus Poco, though, the Brazilian, joins the 131 club as he goes up into P4. Nice lap from him. Abrar Chowdhury breaks into the top 10, looking a bit better for the man from Pakistan, as the high-tech driver gets himself into the top 10 just barely, but he's knocked out as Håkon Olsen, the Norwegian, who is currently P21 in the championship, goes up into 8th. But we're going to see Daniel Fraser then, as he will round the final corner. Buccina, turn number 15, holding the inside line. Let's see what Fraser can do as he heads down the start-finish straight.
It's going to be tight. Is he going to break it into the top 10? And he does it.
Lovely lap from Daniel Fraser, and that might be what he needs. Obviously, still behind Eric Adelberg by about 2/10, but points will be important in the fight for second at least, between him and Abrar Chowdhury. So the fight for second is very close. And just as I say that, look who storms on to provisional pole. It is Matija Dragovic out of absolutely nowhere. The Serbian takes it away by 600ths of a second from Eric Alderberg. And we thought no one could be able to top this man. And then the man P8 in the championship does it.
Worst placed team on the standings at the moment as well, and Dragovic is 18th in the standings now, and to pull off a pole position lap, look at it, he's outperformed Alderberg as well for provisional pole as well. That is an amazing performance there from Dragovic.
Yeah, Matija, the experienced Serbian, proving that he has still got it, obviously, after 4 seasons in Formula 2, finished P3 last season in F2. Unfortunately could not earn the call up to F1, and he's looking to get one this season as Ollie Boaks goes up into 13th as he's side by side there. But look who's got on to provisional pole. It's happened again. Eduardo Silva by 0.2 of a second. What a lap from the Trident driver as Eduardo Silva, the Brazilian, has stormed onto provisional pole, and that is one hell of a lap from the Trident.
20 seconds, and we've got 2 pole changes as well. Amazing there from Silva as well. That is an absolutely amazing performance there as well. He's definitely coming strong after, well, his race ban throughout the season though, but amazing there performance of them. 0.2 as well. I mean, I don't see anyone topping the Brazilians' pole at the minute.
Yeah, it's absolutely wonderful lap time, I have to say, from Eduardo Silva. He really nailed it with that. I think that will be the Brazilian's first pole if he's going to be able to succeed with it, if I am not mistaken. I think he might have had one in 2018, but I'm not so sure of that. Yeah, no. This could be Silva's first pole position if he does nail it. Håkon Olsen, the man in 11th, has had a pole to his name all the way back in 2018, though he would not go on to win that as he goes across the line. No improvement for Håkon Olsen. Obviously, he'd take it at the Spanish Grand Prix all the way back in 2018. That would be Kai Čerežnja who'd go on to win that race, and Olsen would have to settle for 3rd, I believe. As we look at Ida Weitz then on his lap, heading into turn 4 and turn 5. Now, we have a few seconds left on the clock, Jamie, and I have to say, things are getting interesting, especially with Silva and Dragovic in the pit lane.
Yeah, absolutely as well. We're seeing the closing stages of the races now. Those on track will surely be looking to displace the 2 drivers as well. And first we're seeing Bruster. I don't think he'll improve. He does improve, actually. He goes up to 19th as well. So that will be something very interesting for him. Might do some favours for him for the race as well. The back, you don't really want to be there favorably because it's a very dirty air-based track as well. Poco going through the final corner of turn 15 as well. He has yet really, his current position right now is good if he wants to get some points whole. He's currently not doing very well in the standings, but could he maybe break into the podium or maybe higher? No, he doesn't. He actually stays in 6th.
Nikhil Waldron, the man who scored a podium here last time out, will be P21, and Ron Chatan is going to start last. Eric Alderberg in the pit lane. What can Ida Weitz do then? As from P4, will it be an improvement for Weitz as he goes across the line? No, it's only going to be P4 for him at the moment, but still an impressive qualifying performance from the Swede. What about his former teammate last season, Kuben Grissom, who's going to go across the line, and it's P8 for Kuben Grissom. Very good qualifying for him. Thundertorn Konkum into 10th. He goes and Sundevik all the way up into 2nd. What a lap from really Sundevik. That was wonderful. That came out of absolutely nowhere as he has gone up into 2nd. That's going to be his, I believe he's going to equal his career best. But it is, for the first time in his Formula 2 career, Eduardo Silva is on pole position here at Tuscany. And what an exciting qualifying session that was.
Sundevik absolutely from nowhere. He made Silva's almost impossible pole lap time come inches away. He was just like 1/10 off from that lap as well. And it's very, very close, but very well deserved there to Eduardo Silva, Sundevik and Dragovic as well, who both topple the current driver's standings leader.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Eric Alderberg all the way down in 4th, or I shouldn't say all the way down, but he's there in 4th. We'll see what he's going to be able to do today. But enough about that. Let's go down to the grid and let's get the starting grid before lights out for the Tuscan Grand Prix. So it is Eduardo Silva, the Brazilian in the Trident, takes pole position ahead of Rilly Sundvik. In 2nd position, the Swedish Korean driver in the MP Motorsport lines up P2 with Matija Dragovic in a very unexpected 3rd, and he's accompanied by Eric Alderberg, the championship leader, on the 2nd row. Ida White starts P5 with Remus McGregor in P6, and then it is Ari Soilu in P7 with Matheus Poco, the other Brazilian, all the way down in 8th. Jean-Francois Bilot lines up P9 with Kumi Grissom rounding out the points in 10th.
Adam Hidayat, the second of the Americans, starts in P11. Not really quite the performance Daniel Fraser is looking for to catch up to Adelberg. He starts in 12th. Kunkum for the Thai drivers in 13th, followed by Olsen, the Norwegian, in 14th. Rosetta Martinez, the Filipinos, in 15th, followed by 16th of Ollie Boakes of the British driver. Chattenbury, who shares the same points with Fraser, is not going to be happy with that. The Pakistani starts in 17th. Jimenez, the third of the Brazilians, is in 18th. Alex Berger, is currently in 19th, followed by Tobias Schulenberg in 20th. The sole Canadian Nikili Vaji is in 21st, and the sole Dutchman of Rowan Chutanis, is in 22nd, and that will lay it for the grid for today's race.
Yes, so let's go down to the grid then. 24 laps await us here at Mugello. Eduardo Silva is on pole position as we have 6 lights. And we're underway here at Mugello on a really good start for Eduardo Silva, not so much for Sundvik. Adelberg has got the jump on the MP Motorsport driver, and lightning start for the Swiss driver there as well, as he's going to be side by side with Dragovic into turn 1, tries to cover him off. I think it might be 3 wide. No, it isn't, as Dragovic is there on the inside line, and he is going to hold Adelberg on the inside heading into turn number 3. Can he get it done as Mattia puts up the defense to the championship leader, and he defends P3 away from Eric Adelberg. Is it done heading into Materazzi? I think it might be heading out of Borgo San Lorenzo, and he has done it. Mattia Dragovic defends from Eric Adelberg, but the Swiss driver says it's not over yet through Casanova. He can't quite do it though, as Mattia Dragovic will hold 3rd, and Adelberg might have to watch out for Weitz there in 5th, as he is still chasing him down through the 2 Arabiatas. Silva leads away from Sundvik and Dragovic. There's Walji and Schwulenberg battling away.
Absolutely amazing there from Dragovic as well. He didn't have a very good start as well, but managed to retake the position from Adelberg as well, giving him a run for his money, and precise defending there helped Dragovic maintain that 3rd position as well. That was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, really well done from Matija Dragovic. Eric Adelberg, though, you can see Dragovic is losing massive amounts of time as Tobias Schwulenberg, the race winner last time out, tried to go on to Jimenez but could not make that work, and now he's got a quite poor run. Here comes the Dutchman Rowan Chotanus, who really shouldn't be fighting for these positions considering he was a race winner here last season. As now we're going to look at Eric Adelberg, who has got the run on Matija Dragovic. DRS not active yet, but Adelberg doesn't care as he dives to the inside line, heading into San Donato. Can he make the move through turn 1? Yes, he does. And Eric Adelberg back into the podium places, and he's now got a 2.2 second
there's someone
gap.
out there on the Duff track as well. That was Daniel Fraser as well.
And Schotanus as well has dipped the wheel into the grass. But Adelberg now has gone up into 3rd, and he's already closing on Rilly Sundvik, Jamie.
Yeah, absolutely as well. I'm really surprised by that position as well there. Meanwhile, we're looking at the front there. There's an overtake as well. We can see that's Boakes and Olsen as well. Olsen's trying to go down the inside. Doesn't quite make it work. Ollie Boakes still stays in 15th position.
Yeah, Alex Broster could close up into that battle as Jimenez is trying to go on to the man 3rd in the championship, Albert Chowdhury, but he runs a bit wide. Could that prompt his Prema teammate Nikhil Walji to try and have something? But the back end kicks out for the Canadian. Here comes Tobias Schwulenberg as he's going to be there on the inside line through Scarperia. The 2 go side by side. Schwulenberg though has to back off, and this could rope Rowan Chotaras into the battle for P20. What a battle they're having for what is essentially the wooden spoon here, but through Corentin Tayo. Tobias runs a bit wide. Is Shotanas going to be able to find the opening once again? Not right now. So they will all stay in their respective positions then prior to the battle. As we approach lap 3, DRS will now be active for the drivers. Eric Adelberg, he set the fast lap of the race. Here's Daniel Fraser on Kuba Grissom.
Absolutely as well, yeah. Fraser and Grissom, and now Fraser's going to use the DRS now. He's going to use all the momentum down, taken to the inside of turn 1 as well, which should be the fastest line as well. This should be a textbook overtake for Fraser as well. Oh, Grimsel gets onto the grass, and that allowed Daniel Fraser to take P10.
Lovely stuff from Daniel Fraser. There's Nikhil Wadzi running a bit wide as Tobias Schwul gonna swing around the outside through Materazzi, and the German gets it done up into P20.
Yeah, we forgot to mention earlier as well, from the amount of car control that Schulenberg and Valji had, it was very good that those two managed to keep on track together as well and maintain it in positions as well. But yeah, very good there for Schulenberg for the overtake.
Yeah, as Eduardo Silva has now pulled a 1.3 gap over Rilly Sundevik in second. Eric Adelberg, who is gaining on the Swedish Korean driver, obviously, in second. So we could expect a battle for P2 happening very, very soon, as Dragovic, unfortunately, isn't able to hold on to his third, as he has quite the gap to Eric Adelberg in third. Daniel Fraser, then, who got past Kuba and Grissom the lap previous, is going to try and attempt something on Adam Hedayat, the American-Indonesian driver, in ninth in the other Trident.
Yeah, you can just see from the timing board as well that they're all slowly starting to split apart into their own grips as well. This is due to the part of the DRS and different strategies that they all have as well. Some of them are going aggressive, some of them are going attacking as well. We see Daniel Fraser as well, who's going to go for another overtake now. This Damon and Tayat now is going to try and take down the outside line this time as well, and it won't actually work as well. And I think Adam Hitayat will take ninth, and he does so after Fraser gets into the grass.
Yeah, I think Soilu might have gone a bit wide as well. That could maybe see him getting roped into the battle, but Ari Soilu himself, who I think was trying a move on Mateus Poco just up ahead in seventh, they could be battling up there, so we'll see what's going to happen. There in the background, though, I think that's Jean-Francois Bilot. I think, was he trying a move? I'm unsure, but he has got Thunjatorn Konkum for company there in 13, so we could see what happens, as you have Danny Fraser, who still is on the back of Hidayat, so I think he's going to wait for another chance to try and get past the Trident driver. Obviously, his rival Adelberg is running in the podium at the moment, and he is making very good gains here, Jamie. He is almost within DRS range of Sundevik.
Yeah, Sundevik as well. He knows he's going to be under trouble from Adelberg as well. It's impressive to see Adelberg's stands here. You can see why he is currently the driver's standings leader at the moment, and a very distant one at that, with a 29-point gap between his closest competitor as well. It's only going to be a matter of time before he makes the move on Sundevik.
Yeah, we'll see when it's going to happen, as Jean-Francois Bilot on Kuba and Grissom. It's going to be the Frenchman versus the American, as Bilot looking to line it up on the inside line. Is he close enough into turn 1? He's a bit later on the brakes than Grissom, but the American runs wide, and that is going to be key for Bilot to get past, and he is through up into P11.
Very impressive there from Jean-François Bilot. If he keeps this up, he might actually maybe manage to catch up to Fraser, who had not made his overtake on Adam Hidayat yet.
Yeah, we'll see what is gonna happen, as we look at Remus McGregor, who is here in the battle for P4 between Dragovic, Weitz, and himself. And I guess you could throw Mateus Poco into the mix there as well, but I think Weitz is gonna try and get past Dragovic for fourth, just like Eric Adelberg did it.
Yeah, you can see Dragovic is kind of struggling in pace currently. He's currently fourth at the minute, and that gap is ever so more increasing in only just a matter of 5 laps, actually. It's nearly come up to 3 seconds now between him and Adelberg. Actually, Adelberg is now in DRS range.
Yeah, he is. And we're just heading out of Bucine, and now he is going to have the DRS engaged, unlike Rilly Sundevik, as we're going to head down the very, very long start-finish straight. Is he close enough to the back of the MP Motorsport driver. I don't think he is heading into turn 1. He does not go for the move, not before running a bit wide. But Daniel Fraser does go for it into turn 1. He will go, and I think that's going to send Hilliard out wide. It does, and Daniel Fraser is passed for 9th position.
Yep, just shows to Fraser that he's learned his lesson now. He knows that the inside line into turn 1 works better than the outside line as well, and he comes off with no struggles at all, and he comes up into a well-deserved 9th place for the British driver.
Yeah, lovely stuff from Daniel Fraser. Making overtakes left and right as we look at Erik Adelberg and Willy Sundvik through the two Arabiatas, and you can see how close Adelberg is through the high-speed corners. He's just so quick through there, and I think with this gap, an overtake is almost imminent into turn number 1.
Yeah, Adelberg knows as well that Sundvik is not actually closing up to Silva as well. I think he knows that if he tries to overtake Sundvik sooner rather than later, he might have a chance to catch up to Silva in a matter of a few laps and try and, take hold of position of a race lead.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens then. And we're going to get that question answered now as we're going to head down the start-finish straight. DRS engaged for Erik Adelberg. Let's see if he is close enough. Heading into turn number 1, it's about 5/10 of a gap now. Down to about 4/10, and no, he surprisingly enough isn't close enough. But Idevajs is close enough to Matija Dragovic, and he's gonna go on the inside line of the Dams car, and Dragovic does run wide. Idevajs easily up into P4.
Yeah, that was Bilal trying to make a move on Hidayat as well. And Bilal's performance didn't actually succeed as well. But yeah, impressive there from Witt. He goes up into P4. It's kind of becoming a disaster for Dragovic, who performed very well in qualifying, is kind of having a little bit of a disastrous race so far.
Yeah, not nice to see for Matija Dragovic. Obviously, Dams have been struggling a lot this season, which is a shame, as Daniel Fraser chasing down Ari Soiler. There's Ollie Bogues ahead of Rosetta Martinez. Martinez going to come under pressure from Alex Broster, his former teammate, who's going to go round the outside through the two Arabiatas. Lovely battle as Broster goes on the curb, uses all the track available to him, and he gets past. Nice overtake from Alex Broster. That was lovely from the Brits.
That was a really impressive overtake. I'll be honest there. That was absolutely amazing there.
Yeah, it really was. As Erik Adelberg will look to the ART Grand Prix car once again. I feel like this is a bit of the same story yesterday with the Porsche Super Cup race that we had with it was Valiak and can't remember the other one.
The other one.
It'll come to me eventually. But yeah, Adelberg.
I think he might be close. No, he wasn't close to that.
And there's Daniel Fraser under pressure from Ari Soilu. Soilu's going to be there on the inside, or I think is it the other way around? I think it might be, but Fraser does run wide. Soilu will be able to equalize like that as they head through the chicane. Ari's going to be there on the inside line. Fraser tries to hold the outside, but Soilu will be up into 8th.
Yeah, that was very aggressive there from Fraser on the straight. I think we just saw him block off Ari Soilu before heading into that turn as well. But Ari Soilu, very impressive there. He goes up to 8th.
Yeah, nicely done from the Formula E 2019 Formula E champion. Very well done from him. As we look at Jean-Francois below, trying to get into the points, chasing down Adam Hidayat, who has been involved in a lot of midfield battles so far in these first 8 laps. And I should just mention there behind the Cuban Grissom Express is in full working order, as there's a massive train behind the American right now. Ollie Bogues running a bit wide to maybe try and find a way to get past him, as there's Martinez having a look on Broster, but he runs a bit wide, doesn't get the best of runs. Is Håkon Olsen going to be on the inside line into Buccina? Yes, he does. Here goes Håkon Olsen on the inside line, though important that he does not get ahead before the DRS zone, because that won't allow him the DRS. So you can see there, there is Daniel Fraser, who's going to try and re-overtake Ari Soilu with the DRS. Soilu does not have it into turn 1, and Fraser's going to be on the less favorable outside line, though. I think that's going to give the advantage to Soilu as we head into the braking zone. It's going to be Ari Soilu who's going to swing it around the outside.
Whoa.
Yeah, he does defend wonderfully, and Fraser runs wide. Here comes Adam Hidayat on the inside, heading into turn number 4. He's got the outside, sorry, but now he has the inside through Borgo San Lorenzo, and he's gonna go wheel to wheel with the Brit. This is gonna impair Fraser's chance of fighting with Soilu massively, and Hidayat is gonna come under pressure from below. A very opportunistic move there on the inside line through Savelli for Jean-Francois Below into the Arabiatas. Below on the outside line, can he make it stick? He goes very wide, but he does it. What a move from Jean-Francois Below. That's going to be in contenders to overtake of the season. That was wonderful.
Absolutely of nowhere there. That was the prime example of a domino effect in Mugello as well, with Fraser not trying to get good enough from Sulu, and that came under pressure from François Below and Adam Hidayat as well, which came up to this fantastic battle that we've just seen right before us as well, and that all credit goes to Jean-François Below for that amazing overtake.
Could we get a replay of that, please? I need to see that, because that was an absolutely wonderful from his onboard as well. That would be.
We actually missed a lot of overtakes from that back straight as well.
Yeah, we did. Racing is really kicking off here. So this is Fraser made his mistake. This is into turn 4 or turn 2 and 3. And you can see that Fraser gets the better run, gets a way better run there on the outside line. And Hidayat is there on the inside line. Then Below just spots the opportunity from absolutely nowhere into Savelli. And then through Arabiata 1, he's there on the outside. And then through Arabiata 2, he's still there on the inside line. It just takes the widest line possible, uses all the track available to him. And it's just really, really wonderful from Jean-Francois Below. I think that's probably going to be one of the Frenchman's best overtakes in his career, that's to say the least.
Absolutely as well. The definition of taking the track and a bit more to gain an advantage as well. Very impressive there from Below, and Adam Hidayat did not see what was coming from him. Daniel Fraser, meanwhile, is trying to go for another attempt on Ari Sulu. He takes a wide line once again, and once again he gets off the grass.
Yeah, has not really worked for Daniel Fraser. I don't know why he's so adamant today about trying the outside line, and you can see this is going to back him up into Below. Jean is not done here as he's having a look on the inside line, but there's no space there just yet for the ART driver. There goes Ollie Boaks on Adam Hidayat, having a look on the inside line. Can't make it stick though.
Yeah, as well there. He's not going to be looked very favourably from that as well, as now he's going to be under pressure from Grimson as well after that bad racing line as well. He's got a lot to defend for coming to the straight as well from the guys behind him as well.
Yeah, we'll see what is going to happen. There's Alex Broster running a bit wide, trying to chase down Thunyatorn Konkum, creating a bit of a domino effect behind us. Albright Chowdhury tried to have a look on the Campos driver for a potential overtake, but nothing coming out of that just yet. Broster, though, has been able to claw his way back into fighting with Konkum, as Erik Alderberg is now going to be chasing down Thunyatorn Konkum's teammate, Riley Sundevik, which he has been doing for these past 11 laps. Let's see if he's going to be close enough.
He's not actually on trouble now as well, because Vitz is closing up to him.
Yeah, either Weitz could be trying to fight for the podium here, as Daniel Fraser is going to go around the outside once again of Ari. So will this work? Probably not. Into turn 1, it has worked. As I do say that, Daniel Fraser gets up into 8th.
Yeah, I think he learned what his mistakes were, and that whenever he's on the outside line, he knows just to turn to the inside line as quickly as he can now, and now that will allow him to keep P8 as well. Very good there from Fraser. He's learned his lesson.
Yeah, nice stuff from Daniel Fraser. The other Brit, Alex Broster, tries to chase down Kuben Grissom. Doesn't really work very well for him, though. So he's going to stay in 14th for the time being. You might have to watch out for Thunyatorn Konkum, the driver, which he did get ahead of. There is Shotanas and Martinez battling away with each other. And Rosetta Martinez there on the inside line through the two Arabiatas. Really exciting to see these two cars go side by side there. Shotanas does the Below, and he gets the move done. Tobias Schwulenberg is falling down to last. Is he gonna have a look at Martinez? He's not close enough for the move, and unfortunately, the man who was P1 last race will have to stay in P22.
Strutanis doing his best Jean-Francois Below impression there, and that was pretty much well done, textbook.
As we head down the start-finish straight, I am noticing this. Sundevik is getting way better exits, but we don't have time to talk about that. Erik Adelberg is there on the inside line of really Sundevik. Can he put up the defense? He goes wide, and Erik Adelberg up into second. Take a bow! What a performance from this man so far. And he's got a 1.8 second gap to Eduardo Silva.
Yeah, absolutely. That's oh dear, Chandri has got a lot of grass there, and that's going to hinder him quite a lot. But yeah, very good there from Alderberg as well for that overtake. I think Sundevik and Alderberg may have had a bit of a minor collision before heading to that first corner. Could be wrong. But yeah, Alderberg did very well to take P2 as well.
Yeah, I didn't spot that, but yeah, wonderful stuff from Erik Adelberg. And look at how much he's gaining on Eduardo Silva. He's got 12 laps to do it. I think he could do it, Jamie. I don't want to change him, but like it could happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much a no-brainer, is it? Like, look how much he's already gained so much in just a few short, like half a lap as well. I mean, it's written in the stars that he's probably going to overtake Eduardo Silva, but the question is, how soon?
Yeah, it's maybe a matter more of when and not if. So we'll see what is going to happen. This is very reminiscent of Alfred Klaus's charge through the field at the Formula 1 Spanish Grand Prix back in 2018. You haven't seen that race, but it was a thriller for those who were there, as Ari Soilu is now going to be under pressure from Jean-Francois Below, who's going to go to the outside, thinks better of it though, switches to the inside, and that might have been the right call for the Frenchman heading into San Donato. He's going to be there wheel to wheel with the Finn as they head out of turn 1. Soilu does run wide, and Jean-Francois Below up into 9th.
Yep, we've seen another similar overtake with Chartery. Concom goes a bit wide as well. That'll allow for Chartery as well to get into 15th as well. He still needs to gain a lot of positions if he tries to maintain his third position, because at the moment it's not looking too favorable for him. Well, currently, Daniel Fraser and Bilal are kind of going through similar charges to the field together. They're kind of both doing a lot of overtakes up to P10, and if we can see it, maybe they might charge for top 5 if they're lucky enough.
Yeah, they're very experienced drivers, obviously, cutting their way through the field. Really, really nice to see. And I should mention this, Jamie. Erik Adelberg is within DRS distance already of Eduardo Silva.
I mean, yeah, I can see that as well. That is really soon as well. I think it's really is going to be a matter of time now. There's definitely not going to be a question of, if, but when. It's just a question like, how good can Eduardo Silva defend his first position from Alderberg? Because Sundevik did give Alderberg a bit of trouble, and then it only took like 5 laps for him to manage to take P2 now. So the question is, how good Eduardo Silva, the Brazilian, can defend his first position?
Yeah, Silva obviously hasn't been in a podium position for quite a while, it feels like. His last podium was the 2019 Portuguese Grand Prix, as Alex Broster is now going to try it on Cuban Grissom, heading down the inside into turn 1. Will he succeed on the American on his inside? Grissom runs wide, and thus Alex Broster will get past. Håkon Olsen also clears through turn. Konkum is falling down the field a bit, which is not nice to see for the Thai driver. And look how close Erik Adelberg is to Eduardo Silva. It's not even fair.
I mean, I just like how you said it's not even fair. We're going to see him maybe score his 3rd win of the season and his 4th consecutive podium as well. And all this while starting 4th. You're right, it's not fair.
I think he started... No, yeah, he did start 4th. It really just is an absolutely jaw-dropping performance from this man today, Erik Adelberg, and it's not even been the entire race, as we're gonna head down into Bucina, and this is gonna be prime opportunity for Erik Adelberg to storm into the race lead. He's gonna have the DRS enabled now, heading down the start-finish straight, immediately goes up and alongside Silva, and he's gonna go side by side on the outside, heading into turn 1. I think he's gonna get it done before the corner. He does, and Erik Adelberg is in the race lead of the Tuscan Grand Prix from P4 on the grid all the way up into P1 in 15 laps. This man cannot be stopped.
Yep. Yeah, the fact he managed to overtake him right before the corner as well is all that needs to be said about his performance so far. That was, I mean, you cannot really ask any more than a dominant performance there from Adelberg as well. That is about as dominant as you could get, and with like just about over half the race as well. It's a matter about like how soon can he win the race now? Because I don't see Eduardo Suva or Sundevic challenging for the lead at this point unless if he slows down.
I have to say, just today and in this season in general, Erik Adelberg just on another level from the rest. I don't know what's activated this, but really it's just such greatness from Erik Adelberg. I really can't put it into words, but he's already a second ahead of Eduardo Silva. That is, I mean, you can't really put it into words, really.
In a don't forget, in a semi-spec series as well, and almost nearly like identical cars. The only difference is the team's equipment, but a team's equipment to have such like impact on the performance as well as we're seeing with Adelberg as well. Already a second. There's no way Eduardo Silva can now catch up to him because he's out of DRS range.
Yeah, and obviously ART haven't been a they haven't been a championship winning outfit in historical years, as we're going to see Matthias Poco on the inside of Remus McGregor for P6 as Poco is trying to get his way through the field. McGregor, though, runs a bit wide, and the Brazilian will take 6. But ART historically haven't been a very front-running constructor. They achieved very good successes last year with Emilia Konnichina, who finished second in the championship for ART. And yeah, other than that, they really haven't been a front-running team. In 2018, they finished 7th in the championship, and in 2017, they finished 8th. Erik Adelberg right now is absolutely carrying ART with a 25-point lead in the championship. Also, I should mention, if the race finishes like this, or I wouldn't say that, but right now, if Erik Adelberg if he was a constructor, he would be second in the championship, which is just insane.
Yeah, I mean, he outscores the entirety of the Premier Racing team. I mean, think about that.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
And they're no slouches as well. I mean, Jimenez and Walji are obviously, I mean, they're podium sitters, and Walji I believe, does hold the record for most podiums in Formula 2.
Well, we'll see if that record still keeps intact, if Adelberg, well, if he scores any more podiums this series as well. As we look at Alex Brewster now making a move on Chantry as well, he goes up into 12th.
Yeah, nice stuff from Alex Brewster. There's Håkon Olsen running wide as Kuban Grissom defends from the Norwegian in the dams. There's Jean-Francois Bilot trying to not make himself look bad in front of his teammate, but yeah, he's trying to get past his old rival Daniel Fraser, as right now it's about 5 tenths between the two.
I'm just admiring the gap between Adelberg and Silva now. It's nearly come up to 3 seconds now.
Yeah, there's really something special about that guy. I mean, you think he is a race winner in 3 different tiers. He's a race winner in DTM, Formula E. He finished 6th in Formula E last season with 2 wins to his name. He finished 3rd in DTM with a win and a podium to his name. And I mean, this Formula 2 season has been absolutely spectacular. So this man has, I mean, even before joining Formula 2, he's had an insane portfolio, and he's just adding on to it every race that goes on.
Yeah, generation like him, Eric Alderberg, comes in once in a lifetime, really. A man that can adapt so quickly into different motorsport categories is definitely one that's not to be missed. As we see Alex Verstappen now making the move on Ollie Boaks, he goes a bit wide, and he actually manages to maintain his lead from, his 11th place from Ollie Boaks.
Yeah, nice battle there, but I have to say, it just really perplexes me because you think last season in F2, you had the championship fight between Wale, Nilsson, and Konichina. After round 6 of the championship, Wale was leading by 2 points from Nilsson and 4 points from Konichina, and then 5 points from Matthias Poco, and then it was Shotanos on 11 points of a deficit. You think it was that close, and you look at it now, it's a 29-point gap, and in F2 terms, that is monumental. Like, you think the F1 championship, Dennis Graff is currently leading from with 30 points from Jesper Johansson. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I agree with you.
We've never had this dominant of a first season half from any driver. It's insane. There's really no other way to put it. But let's go down to the racing action. Matija Dragovic has caught up to Ide Weitz there in fourth, as we look at Chowdhury getting past Adam Hidayat, who's been dropping down the field, which is a shame. So doesn't look like points will be on the board for Hidayat in the Trident.
No, he seems to be struggling quite a bit as well. Consistent mistakes as well as put him off the pecking order. And with only like 5 laps to go, I'm afraid I'm not going to see him challenge for points anytime soon due to the amount of mistakes he's had so far.
Yeah, shame for Hidayat, who obviously currently lies in a midfield fight for 10th position, or I'd say 9th position in the championship, as we witness the battle for P4 between Matija Dragovic, Ide Weitz, Matthias Poco, and basically all the other guys behind. So it is quite a hefty train behind Ide Weitz at the moment.
The Weitz train.
Indeed.
As actually catch up to Silver as well.
Yeah, that's interesting. And he's going to be within DRS range of the Brazilian.
It's going to be very soon. It's going to be very premature. He's going to go defensive. He's going to go for the outside line. No, he doesn't. He dummies him once again and goes for the inside line.
That was wonderful from Sundevik. Where's this man been all season? As he's going to go down the inside of Eduardo Silva. Silva, though, does run a bit wide, and thus Sundevik will be able to get past. Lovely stuff from really Sundevik. That was fantastic.
Yeah, as well. Also equally as impressive, Bilal continues his charge. He's now up into 7th as well. Impressive there from the Frenchman as well. I said the good thing about Eduardo Silva's defense was that he didn't go too wide, that he touched the grass as well. But there's nothing he can really do to defend from Sundevik as well. The South Korean driver is up into 2nd.
Yeah, really, really well done from Sundevik then, but it's such a monumental gap, and with 4 laps to go, I don't think Sundevik will be able to do anything, which is a shame. As we're gonna have a battle for P4 though, as Matija Dragovic is chasing down Ide Weitz, and you can see how close he gets through Correntaio, but not before running wide. And that's going to allow Matthias Poco to close in a bit on the Serbian.
Yeah, Jean-François Bilal also went a bit wide as well, but he didn't have as much of an impact as it did to Dragovic as well. He goes wide once again, a bit weird. But yeah, all these cars will be within DRS range, and with only about 3 laps to go, it's all places for grabs here.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting, as there in the background is Below onto Poco and Dragovic onto Veit heading into turn 1. He has the overlap heading in on the inside. Veit though is going to run a bit wide and doesn't go off the track. There's Below on the outside. He's going to take advantage of this.
He might do two places in 2 corners, and he's
done it. He's done it. What a move from Jean-Francois Below. Really, really well done from him, as Veit goes down to, Below goes up to. That's absolutely insane from Below. Really well done. And yeah, Matija Dragovic up there in 4th, as well as Fraser's coming under pressure from Ari Soilu in 10th.
Bilau's double overtake was just simple, calm, and collective as you like as well. He was absolutely calm, and then he saw that one of the drivers actually made a mistake, and he just went through simple as you like. 2 corners in 3. In 3 corners he made up two places, and now he's up to 5th. That's amazing.
Yeah, he's gonna be chasing down Matija Dragovic as well, as Matthias Poco wants to be the next man to try and get past the Veits, heading into turn 1 as they head through the 2 Biondetti corners. And then into the final corner, you can see he is very close to the rear of that Carlin, as he is going to have the DRS heading down the start-finish straight. He's definitely going to be able to try a move. It's not looking good for either Veit at all. The man who looked to be in very close reach of a podium. Things are falling away a bit for him, as Poco's going to be there on the inside line, tries to sell the dummy on Veit as they head through turn 1. Either Veit's going to run a bit wide. Here comes Remus McGregor as well, having a look on the Swede, but yeah, nothing comes out of that, unfortunately for Remus McGregor. Once again, either Veit is a bit more cautious and does not go down 2 positions. There's Walji and Schulenberg wheel to wheel.
Yeah, Vale just keeps a hold of Schulenberg for P18 just about. But yeah, the interesting thing to know about Edie Veit is the speed. It just keeps it defending, but doesn't defend too much. His wheel touches the grass, and that should allow him to keep positions. As that was I think that was Kunkum. Kunkum just goes a bit wide, and the Thai driver just loses his position, but manages to regain it back by being on the outside.
Yes, Dunyatorn Kunkum has fallen down a lot as well, which is a shame to see. Obviously, he's up there in the championship as well, P5 in the championship, so that is going to hurt him.
Interesting to note is that Eduardo Silva is still nearly in the back of Sundevik still.
Yeah, so there's a proper battle going on there for second, so it's still not over in the fight for P2. And you can see there the background
as well. It's caught up to Silva as well.
Yeah, Dragovic and Below have caught up to this battle, so this is very interesting.
Oh, this will be a performance for Bilal if he can pull this one off for P4 as well. He's going to be in the back of the Serbian as well. Depends on where he's going to be in for turn 1. He takes the inside line, which is the most optimal line. May it work?
No, Dragovic has blocked him off. There's McGregor around the outside of either Veit. Veit's and Fraser tried it as well. McGregor made it stick around the outside. That was beautiful from him. As Håkan Olsen is going to try it on Veit's teammate Ollie Boaks. The two are going to go wheel to wheel, but Boaks, the Porsche Super Cup champion, holds it on the inside line, and Håkan Olsen might be under pressure from Adam Hide up there, who is looking to try it. No, he's not close enough.
Oh, that was very interesting there. Very good there from Books as well to capture that P13 as well. We're running back with Eduardo Silva, who's now going to be under pressure from Dragovic as well. Dragovic is going to be under pressure from Jean-Francois Bilal now, and we've only got about a lap and a half left to go now. This is going to be a very interesting battle indeed.
This is going to be really interesting. We've got a four-way fight for P2 heading into the final lap of the race as Dragovic runs wide. Could that invite Below to try and take 4th position away? No, he doesn't go for it, which I have to say is a smart choice because I don't think a move would have worked into the Biondetti chicane. But now then, as we approach Buccine once again. Dragovic runs wide, making a bit of mistakes. Maybe he's
Final lap, here we go.
stressed out. Yeah, here we go. As Dragovic has got the run on Eduardo Silva. He's going to be there on the outside line with the DRS. Will he make it stick? No, he goes to the inside line. But this one was going to be 3 wide, heading into turn 1. And they make contact. Silva has been spun round by Matija Dragovic. Silva's out of the podium. I cannot believe it. There goes Remus McGregor up into 5th. Absolute drama on the final lap of the Tuscan Grand Prix. And there's more contact. Broster is trying to force himself through on Daniel Fraser. It's chaos here as Ari Soil is now there on the inside line. Fraser defends or tries to get past Eduardo Silva for 7th. He does so as the 2 Campos cars are side by side. I cannot believe it, Jamie.
This is the domino effect right here, as we're seeing here. Mugello's now, as Alex Broster now goes ahead and flies past Ari Sulu now into 9th as well. He's trying to make some moves on Eduardo Silva, but it won't come into contact now. Running aboard now with Dragovic. He's still trying to look to gain 2nd as well. Ari Sulu still trying to get past Alex Broster and still doesn't come into fruition as well.
Absolutely insane as Soilu's there on the inside line, very close. And it is going to be Alex Broster who he devices there. He's going to try to get a position away and at least wants to finish in the points. But it's going to be an absolutely wonderful performance from this man, once again proving why he is the championship leader. The record has been equal for Eric Adelberg. He wins in Tuscany, and that is 3 wins in a season, as it's going to go to the line for Matija Dragovic. He's going to try it there, but it doesn't work. Sundevik is just going to get 2nd from Matija Dragovic in 3rd, and Jean-Francois Biron in 4th. But there, it's Alex Broster to the line with Eduardo Silva, and Silva gets at least a bit of remedy for the Brazilian. What a race!
Jesus, that was such a cluster of a final lap as well. That was performances everywhere from the front down to the back of the grid. All places changed, and it's such a heartbreak for Eduardo Silva. But Alderberg takes a well-deserved lead, followed by Sudevic and Dragovic, which rounds up the podium.
Yeah, we're gonna see if obviously I think it will be under investigation, the contact with Silva, but we're gonna go through the final classifications. Then it is Eric Adelberg, a 3rd win in a season. This man is unstoppable. First man to do it was Manich in 2017, Martinez in 2018, and now Adelberg in 2020 equals the record for most wins in a season, as Really Sundevik will take his 2nd podium of the season. Once again, a really stellar performance from Sundevik. And then we have Matija Dragovic finishing a really close 3rd, with Jean-Francois Bilot in 4th and Matheus Poco in P5. Remus McGregor finishes a very good P6 with Daniel Fraser 7th, and Eduardo Silva will be quite unhappy with that 8th being denied of a podium, unfortunately for him. And then it's the 2 Campos cars, double points for the Campos team, as Alex Broster finishes 9th ahead of Ari Soilu in 10th.
Idivets can be a bit disappointed with that. The Swedish feeds finishes up in 11th. Arbor Chowdhury is not going to be very happy with that performance. His 3rd position is under threat as he finishes in 12th. Osin finishes in 13th, followed by the Porsche Super Cup champion of Ollie Boaks in 14th. Adam Hidayat is a bit of a trouble for him. Multiple mistakes led him into P15 for the American, followed by Rodrigo Jimenez, the Brazilian driver. The last of the Brazilians finishes in 16th. Grimson, the American driver, finishes in 17th. That'll be very disappointed for Kuban, followed by Tobias Schoenenberg, who has been in the back all around, finishing in 18th. And then following after him is Rowan Schutanis, the Dutchman, finishes in 19th, and Nicky Valle will finish in 20th. And there were no retirements. And Concom finishes in 21st, and Martinez, the Filipino, finishes in 22nd. There were no retirements during the race.
And I think now we can finally breathe out after what has been an absolutely thrilling Tuscan Grand Prix, wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, absolutely. This is definitely one to be going into the ACOC history books as one of the most thrilling races we've seen so far in the Formula 2 season. It's the one that cements Eric Adelberg as one of the best Formula 2 drivers, probably Probably of all time.
Yeah, that was a really fantastic race. I think it's definitely going to be up there with some of the most exciting Formula 2 races of all time. But yeah, thank you so much for watching the ACOC today. Before we go, this is going to be a real difficult one. Who driver of the day?
Jean-François
There are
Valot is going to be mine.
so many people I want to give it to. I think I'll let you begin.
Yeah, Jean-François Valot's mine. I mean, I charged up the midfield. I mean, it was really good, but considering where he started and where he finished as well, maybe in a potential for a podium, considering how harsh Dragovic's potential penalty might be after that collision with Fernando Silva. I mean, that's not to be looked down for. It's a really impressive performance for the HRT driver. Sorry, the ART driver, and I think he gives my driver of the day.
Oh, there are so many people I want to give it to. I do agree with the points you made about below, but I honestly I want to give it to Eric Adelberg because
Yeah,
it's such a fantastic performance
yeah,
overall.
I
It's just
yeah,
done a
I absolutely
masterclass.
agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean 4 podiums in a row, 3 wins in a season. I mean, it's he's just on another level. There's really no way to put it. So Eric Adelberg gets my drive today from fourth to first. It's a really respected performance. Bravo. But that has been it then for Formula 2. Thank you so much for watching. It's been an absolutely wonderful race. We will have more action coming at you though. As the ACOC will return tomorrow for the Formula 1 Tuscan Grand Prix. And if this race is anything to go by, that one should be an absolute thriller as well. And then on Sunday, we will have the Sepang race of Super Formula Round 5 of the championship. And we got some brand new rookies in as well, which will spice up this championship even further. So make sure to not miss that. But until then, I have been Miran.
And I've been Jamie.
And thank you so much for watching the ACOC. We will return tomorrow. Thank you and goodbye.
Goodbye.